SACMHA is an African Caribbean led adult social care provider, so we do work around mental health, around dementia, around all of adult social care basically. As an organisation we have lots of different services. So today is our social cafe, which is a posh name for a lunch club really, but we do lots of activities here. And I think the idea behind this is that members of the community can find out what's going on, what services are accessible to them, to make sure that they're getting what they need to meet their needs. It tends to be older people who come, and it tends to be carers who come and get a good Caribbean meal. But members of the community just drop in, and we do a lot of work with the council, with the providers. On a Wednesday we have a similar service, but that's really for people who are living with a severe mental illness. And so people from the mental health hospitals will come down. People living in the community, perhaps on a community treatment order, will come down, and our staff support them all. We also do a lot of work around counselling, and so the data tells us that African Caribbean people are less likely to be offered talking therapies than our white counterparts. And so we've managed to get together some funding through donations and through fundraising so that we can offer 6 free sessions of counselling to people, a maximum of 15 in a year. And that service is really taking off, and it's much appreciated. And so we have 2 black female counsellors, 2 black male counsellors and a white male counselling trainee, and the work it really is making a difference. We also have a service that works with people who are living in their own homes and need carers to support them living in their own homes. So we'll organise their finances, we'll recruit the carers for them, we'll support them every way. And there's been a couple of people here today that have come with their carer to have lunch, and then they're just heading on their way back home. We have an allotment. So in the spring, summer, a number of our community members go to the allotment. I've had some lovely vegetables from the allotment that they've grown. We also have a link with the black majority churches, the 6 largest black majority churches in the city. And the idea of that is really, across that number of churches, you've got a membership of around 1,500 people, largely Caribbean people. And so it's a good way of us sharing information with them. They share information with us, and we can be sure that the services that we deliver are relevant and that they're needed.
My name is Valerie Grossett, and my role here is a community health advisor, and been doing that work since about March time this year. So it's quite a new role. On a Thursday at the Social Cafe, there's a team of 5 of us at present, and then we will come to the cafe and we will give health advice. We would also take blood pressures, ask people how they are, whether it's physically, socially, mentally, spiritually as well, and we give advice accordingly. I took early retirement in 2015, and part of my retirement plan was to give back to the community, give back to my community. So I started working at SACMHA in, I think, 2016, 2017, and I was a carers coordinator there, and that was voluntary work. So I did that for nearly 2-3 years, I think I did that for. And then this role came up, so I started doing that. So I've got a nursing background, but I was used to visiting families in their homes and working within the community and giving health advice. I also, as part of my church, I've always been a health educator as well. So putting all that together, the skills from my health visiting background plus with the health education, this was ideal. So when this came up, it's only 3.5 hours a week, that this role. When that came up, I just jumped to it because that's what I do. So it's really rewarding working one-to-one with my community, but also doing presentations. We had one today here. So various presentations as well. Yeah, there are 5 of us, and all of us are retired and with nursing backgrounds. And we work well together. So, you know, on Thursdays, there's a couple of us on duty each week. So we kind of work 1 in 2, 1 in 3 in a month. And we just gel together and just do the work together, share together. Yeah, and it's just going really, really well.
We do a lot of work around research and getting information about health inequalities to and from our community. And one of the things that has come up as an issue quite recently, it's not a recent phenomenon, but something that we've been doing work on recently, is around prostate cancer. So the data tells us that the African Caribbean community is overrepresented in terms of the negative indices around prostate cancer. And so we partnered with colleagues in health, we partnered with colleagues at the university and put together some sessions around information around prostate cancer. Did one here, did one in the southeast of the city, and then did a combined event. From that, there was a piece of work that 2 of our community health advisors went to London with colleagues from the university and were part of a Black in Cancer conference. And then again from that, we've now got a group just starting for Black men who are living with prostate cancer. And we are working with Macmillan and with Prostate Cancer UK to fund this group. It's the first one in Yorkshire for Black men, and so I'm really proud that we're able to do that. And when I was talking to you about allies that we've developed over the period, this is some of the evidence of where those good allyships can take us as an organisation in terms of making a difference for our community. These guys are happy to share their story with other men, younger men who have just had a diagnosis and are frightened of what that means for them, what that means for you as a man, what that means for you if you have the operation, in terms of your intimate relationships and all those kinds of things. We're not great at sharing, but they are more than happy to share that on the back of what we've been doing. I think it's a real credit to the team who've been working with them, principally Val and Sheila.
One of the additional things is the community research, and a research study came up involving prostate cancer, raising awareness and just looking at the community. How do they respond, or do they respond, the men in the community? So, and that was part of the university, Sheffield University. And I've not done community research before, but one of the highlights was recruiting people for the workshops and the focus groups that we were doing, and phoning them to make contact. You know, normally it would be a quick phone call. You know, hello, are you interested? Tell a little bit about it. But because it was my community, there's a process that you have to go through. And that process involved kind of, who are you? Oh, yes, Grossert. Are you Mr. So-and-so's daughter or Mrs. So-and-so's daughter? And then the history came out. And what's your background? I've got a background in nursing, and that was it. Confidence in me and my colleague as well, Sheila, confidence in us, and it was all right. So we had no problems in recruiting, but it wasn't a quick thing. Each phone call would last at least half an hour and not 5 minutes. But that was really nice. And I think also starting here, at first, a little bit wary, even though I knew a number of people. But at first it was like, do you want your blood pressure taken? What for? You know, that type of thing. But now it's home from home. You know, can I have my blood pressure taken? This has happened to me at the weekend. I'm not sleeping very well or whatever. And they are so confident and see us as competent professionals. It's a bonus for me, but to know that they're getting the advice that perhaps they would not go. We know historically men in particular do not like to go to the GP or to seek health advice. So just to be able to come and just ask, and they ask, the men will ask, the women will ask, and even people who don't regularly or are not a part of SACMHA, they know and they will ask for us. And that's something, to have achieved that as well in just a few months, that's amazing. So yeah, just going back to a part of the research, there was a conference down in London where we presented the findings, part of the findings of the research. And one of the things when other professionals were walking around and looking at the poster that we were displaying, it was the model that we did. So community health researchers that the university asked for, and they said, how did that work? And people wanted, even now they're still wanting to follow that model because it works really well. We understand the community, we understand their fears about research, fears about somebody coming and asking them about various things. And so others want to follow that, which is really good as well. The model that we have adopted, it works in our communities. There was another research that we did looking at care in the community. And, there's various questions that we had to ask, and there's various fears that the community had in regards to research, in regards to people asking you about your finance and about your business, kind of holding it to their chest. They don't want to let that information out. And also research being done, but there's nothing afterwards. We've done so many research and we don't see anything. So again, to be able to alleviate those fears and, to say that, trust me, that something will be done as a result, because I don't want to do something, waste time for nothing. So I'm on your side, really, because it's going to benefit not just the community, but myself and my colleagues as well. There's still work to be done. There's more people out there in the community, and I think with more publicity, that if we can get more people coming, then we would see changes in accessing services, especially in this climate.
I've been coming here maybe about 2 years now. Yes. I like to I come in the morning and then by the afternoon then I just go home. But I like to come here, meet everyone, have a chat with them, sometimes eat with them and just go. I just come on a Thursday, but I heard it's good. Every day of the week you can come down, have meal and a chat, but I only come on a Thursday. Well, it's good to know because we can come out and sit down and talk to everyone. And sometimes you don't even remember people until you see them come in. So it is good, yes, yeah. They do a Christmas lunch here, which is very good because most people turn out for the Christmas dinner. Well, they serve like rice and peas, and they serve turkey, chicken, whatsoever is on the menu. You can be able to choose and for Christmas what you want to eat. Well, when they talk about health, then sometimes they come down and they take your blood pressure and talk about different things. Like today they was doing eyes and different part of the eyes. So it's quite interesting. And since David Group joined down here, it's more interesting than when it used to be before. Well, it's good for people to know about the skin, the body, and how it works and everything like that. People really interested in that sort of thing. Well, I do. I was here when SACMHA was first open, and it was a large crowd. They always have loads of people down here all the time. But now, since for the past 3-4 years, you don't get as many people down here because young people doesn't seem to want to come here anymore. I don't know why, but maybe it's not interesting like it used to be years ago. Because when we have New Year, we used to have New Year dance down here, and it used to packed out to no end. But now it's not many people here come to New Year down here anymore. It should be advertised more, even outside photo, everything out on the door out there, so that people get to see, And he himself, or whosoever it is, should go out more and let people mix more with the community so that they can know what's going on here. I would like to see the old loads of crowd come back again. But now if you heard of anything gonna happen here, you might think, oh God, I can't be bothered to go. Maybe it's just about a dozen people down there. I can't be bothered, But if you know it's gonna be a crowd of people from different places who are gonna mix, it's more interesting. Yes. But you don't want to keep coming and see 6 of the same people them all the time. Yeah, I like the old time music them. But the young people them want their kind of music as well. But then could mix it up so that everybody seems to enjoy it.
So, hello, I'm Corinne, and at the moment I work for SACMHA, and my role is community development and outreach. So I work in the community, I work one-to-one with people, I do activities and events and support what's going on for the community. I let the community know what's going on and encourage them to use our organisation and find out what's happening, so that they can get involved. One of the activities I'm doing is I'm working with a group of refugee and asylum seeker ladies who have just come to Sheffield, and I'm doing creative activities with them so that, it's a chance for them to express themselves, not be bored, and to get to know Sheffield and what's going on in the city. Another activity I do is we have a community allotment project where anyone can come along. We grow, we talk, we sit, we chat, and it's a place where people can relax and enjoy the environment, have some peace and quiet, and get to know different people and socialise, not be lonely, isolated and by themselves. So the allotment is in Darnall, S9, in the north of the city, but it's a nice little quiet allotment and hidden. So we grow fruit, vegetables, and we have a flower garden. And there's a pond there as well. So it's a nice little space. The allotment was inherited from another project I used to work with. So with this other project, we worked with people who were aged 50 and over. And it was to prevent them from getting lonely and isolated. So that was a time-limited project and it stopped. But we found that the allotment was so nice, we didn't want it to end. So SACMHA said that they would take it over. So we still have that allotment project and it's working for us just as well, One of the things that we do is regular exercise, and we make sure that it's inclusive. We want people who, haven't got too much mobility to be able to take part in it, and for people who are, kind of okay on their feet as well. If people don't move about, don't exercise, don't get out and do walks and things, it can have a negative effect on their health. So keeping fit to music, and even if it is just once in a while for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or so, all of it is beneficial to health and well-being. To be honest, I love it all. I like it all. Each day is different. We meet different people, we invite them into this space, we work in collaboration with other organisations, and people come to us because they want to. They come and they join in and they have a good time. We make sure that people are enjoying what's going on, and we are meeting a need. We get feedback from people on how we could do better, things that we can change, and every idea is a good idea. So it is for the benefit of all that we're doing this, and it's really, really good.
My name is Beresford, and I usually come to support with prostate cancer. I'm a sufferer myself of prostate cancer, so I just like to share my views, my way of life, and how prostate cancer affect me, and so I could help somebody, As this says, the song it says, if I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living will not be in vain. So if I could help somebody, to cope with cancer, with prostate cancer, that's what I'm here for. There are more gentlemen in this room, We talk about prostate cancer, So And they have other venues goes on here that you can join in. Right now they're doing exercise downstairs. So, you're welcome, anybody's welcome to come and, and join. We've been doing this here for quite a while now. And you've got a bar upstairs where people could have a drink and so on. But I don't drink. So, I'm a teetotal man. So, but you can come here and play a game, dominoes. As I'm saying, they are downstairs now doing exercise. They were doing exercise this morning. And they're doing other ventures, in this building. Well, the community is special to me, Me and David been getting on for years now. I know him from he was that high, And so we get on. I know the family. I know the parents. We all came from the same country. We came from St. Kitts. And so coming to England, we as a community get together. The community try to gel together because there are things that the other societies don't like. The Asian keep together, the West Indian keep together, and so on. So we have something going that, keep us as a community together, as a West Indian community together. And this is the place where we come and socialize with one another, I've been to university where we work together with prostate. Just Wednesday, we was at university where the Jessup Hospital is, by the roundabout, upstairs the building there, doing about prostate cancer. Well, for me, I like to share, right? My experience with prostate cancer is it'll make other people who are just going through the stage, the first stage. Because when you hear about prostate cancer, the first thing you think about is death, right? As soon as the doctor told me that I had prostate cancer, and you have to go home and talk it over with your family, and it was like a death sentence, And my children start crying, and Mom was in hospital at the time, and so the children was really upset about it. But, we have to cope. I have to cope with it, And I went to the hospital and I got the operation that saved my life, really. That operation that really saved my life. He has been a tremendous bloke in this place. He gets involved in everything. We started with SACMHA and things like that, mental health and so on. And David he was a number one. He's a number one. I just love to enjoy life. Life is precious. We don't know. You could walk out on the street and today you've gone. Today's. So we just have to just make the best of life. Enjoy life to the best you can, because you don't know what happened tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised to us, right? So we just have to just enjoy life to the full, because we don't know about tomorrow.
We have a team who go into the mental health wards every Tuesday and Wednesday, and they'll be there part of the day, just being there and supporting the people who are living in hospital at the moment and helping them prepare to come out. And we have an officer that is, her title is Equity Officer, Race and Mental Health, and she's got a focus around the mental health hospitals. From that, we developed a group for black men the last Friday of each month called Man Talk, and it's a mental well-being group basically. And in common with most men, black men tend not to perhaps talk as much as we should. Don't look at me like that. But we get between 9 and 18 men each Friday, last Friday of the month. And we also did a conference recently around addressing black male suicide. There's some soft data that tells us that male suicide in our community is an issue. So we're working with the health authority around this issue and around seclusion on wards in the mental health hospitals and around a range of kind of racialised inequalities in the hospitals. And we've developed a really positive relationship with the Health and Social Care Foundation Trust. We partner with them on a number of projects. They fund a number of our posts, and it really is, it's a developing and evolving and a positive relationship. I've been in Sheffield a long time, and I've never known the relationships with partners in the City Council, with partners in health, and indeed with some other voluntary sector organisations be as positive as they are. And so if there can be anything good that's come out of the pandemic, and if there can be anything good that's come out of the murder of George Floyd, it's that opening up of organisations to challenge themselves to be more inclusive. And I get the sense, a real sense, that people are genuine in their attempts to work in a more inclusive way. I think that when I look at our community, the happy memory I have is of our community being around each other. There's an African proverb, which you've probably heard, it says it takes a village to raise a child. Well, I lived that experience. My dad, who passed away in August, he was one of the village elders, if you like. He was kind of a go-to person. So lots of people in the community, I don't know them, but they know me through my father. My mum was a nurse. She passed away last year, and she got very involved with things like Sheffield Health Watch, like the NHS Trust, and that giving back, that's a really happy memory for me, and I hope I've passed it on to my children, and I hope that as a community we never lose it.